Hey everyone, this is Haggy here, and we're going to be doing an overview of the Bringing Little Cup Back team. I know I said I'd only be doing about one video a week, but I figured I'm going to try to get some other videos kind of intermittent in there. I guarantee an upload at least every Saturday, with hopefully intermittent videos in between. They will be at random intervals, and for that I'm sorry. Without further ado, let's talk about the Bringing Little Cup Back team. We have Sir Aaron, my Riolu, named because of Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. Love that movie, love Lucario, so I couldn't resist using Baby Lucario in Little Cup. His items is Muscle Band, his ability is Prankster, his moves are Drain Punch, Swords Dance, High Jump Kick, and Bullet Punch. As you can see, his EV spread over there to the right. I run a speed boosting nature. It is kind of an oddity to try to run a all-out physical attacking Riolu, since most people use him as a prankster abuser to roar, copycat, and go through all the entry hazards, but I just couldn't bring myself to do that, especially since most people don't use Lucario that way. He's definitely not the best fighting type in Little Cup, and I do use him as kind of just a gimmick, which I'm not really ashamed to say there. He's just a fun Pokemon to use, though, catches a lot of people off guards, and he outspeeds the average Fletchling, which means that Bullet Punch can do just enough damage sometimes to get it off your back, which I really appreciate. Hammy is our next Pokemon, and he's just named as a joke. A lot of my friends always said, hey, Sandshrew kind of looks like a hamster. It's not really the most direct resemblance, but it gets it across. So I run a Focus Sash, the ability Sand Rush, and Earthquake, Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock, and Knock Off are his moves. I run a Speed Boost in Nature. The main point of my Sandshrew is a Rapid Spinner and, put up my own hazards when I can. The Focus Sash may seem weird, but that's if there is no hazards on the enemy's field. I like to use him as kind of a revenge killer, hit them, either neuter them as a knockoff, or Earthquake and hopefully KO them. He's not the strongest yet again, he's not the absolute best spinner sometimes, but he's great. And he works great when he can. Little Hammy there is definitely full of personality, and he's just a fun Pokemon addition for any team. Next, we're going to do Calculate Me Bro, which is my Porygon, running the Eviolite, the ability Trace, moves Recover, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Psychic, and a special attack boosting nature. Yet again, you can see my EVs over there on the right if you're more interested in those. I run him mostly to counter Mischievous. Mischievous is incredibly common in Little Cup, and with Porygon resisting her primary stab, and with the ability to hit it yet again with a super effective Shadow Ball. Though Mischievous, sorry, I always get them too confused, can usually carry the HP fighting and carries a Confused Ray to try to counter the Porygon. Porygon definitely manages to get his way through. He's a tank, he will hit anything hard and take so many hits and just recover them off. Honestly, a wonderful Pokemon and a great addition to any team. Next up we have the Ghastly, or Got Gas, fart jokes here for the maturity. The item is a Life Orb, the ability Levitate of course, the moves are Sludge Wave, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, and with a speed boosting nature. Ghastly is an incredibly quick Pokemon, an incredibly strong Pokemon. He's definitely not as used as much in the modern tiers. There's been other Pokemon that do his job a little bit better, some people may think. I like to use him as a lead, and that's kind of what I set up my Ghastly for, a dedicated lead. He's just kind of supposed to be a Swiss Army knife and hit any Pokemon that comes in quite well. There's definitely exceptions to that, but they're few and far between. Ghastly can sweep through a completely unprepared team several times. I've done it over and over again. And Ghastly himself is just a monster. His evolutions are a monster, and let's be honest, who doesn't love themselves a good Ghastly? Next up, we got Fletchling. Fletchling is a Pokemon I forgot to nickname, but he's running No Item, Gale Wings, and Acrobatics, Flame Charge, Roost, and U-Turn make up his move pool. I run a speed boosting nature to outspeed other Fletchlings. It's not really a thing that comes up a lot, but when it does come up, it's really good to be able to outspeed this Fletchling that your opponent has, because that's usually the difference between winning a match and losing a match. Fletchling here, I carry the Flame Charge more for Ferroseed than anything. It's kind of a fun little gimmick. It gives him a Fire-type attack, and I figured if he can get the coverage, why not put the coverage on there. U-Turn is to help him scout and get out of there. He's not the fastest Pokemon per se, but he's definitely fast enough to do that role. I used to run a Murkrow on my team, which Fletchling is now kind of replaced with Murkrow getting banned. But he still not got the same flair, but I really appreciate him as a strong, really good member of my team. If you're looking for a strong, fast attacker for your team, I definitely recommend Fletchling. It took a while for the community to pick him up more and more, but honestly, if you use him, you'll definitely find out he's worth it. I picked him up originally because I hopped on the Talonflame bandwagon for X and Y just immediately and was in love. So I figured maybe baby Talonflame here would do quite well. The final Pokemon rounding off this team is Pebbles the Vullaby. I named her Pebbles because I use Mandibuzz a lot, and Pebbles is my favorite nickname for Mandibuzz because, you know, the little bone in the hair looks like pebbles. I found it funny. The items are Eviolite, the ability is Overcoat, and the moves are Roost, Knock Off, Toxic, and Foul Play, with a defense boosting nature. Pebbles has an amazing support move pool. Also, Pebbles can take so many hits and just roost them off. It is the perfect physical wall in my opinion for Little Cup. I know there's a lot of fighting types, and Pebbles takes neutral to that, but honestly, I don't find that to be too much of a problem with Pebbles. Pebbles can just turn around, knock off their item, or foul play them as their incredibly high attack stat, and it usually knocks them straight out. Also, Toxic is great for stalling out some Pokemon that you just really can't deal with very well. Pebbles isn't heavily bulky on the special defensive side, but Pebbles isn't too much of a wimp either. She can definitely stick in there and take some hits when you need her to. She's a Pokemon that I've really appreciated replacing my Ponyard with, if you saw my first video there. And I'll say, since she can do pretty much the same thing I needed my Ponyard for, I'm in love with having her on my team. So, as you can see there, that is my Bringing Little Cup Back team, the format Little Cup there. This will not be a series that goes on every week. I'm going to try to switch in between this series and another series that I'm calling Breaking the Meta, where we take Pokemon from lower tiers and try to get them to work well in OU. No spoilers on the Pokemon, but the video will be released this Saturday. If you do enjoy this video, please feel free to like and comment. If you have any suggestions to improve quality, I'm definitely open to them. Thank you, and all you have a great day.